Today is all things New England Patriots. The ball is on the 25, and it is 1st and 10. Welcome back to the show. Today, as I mentioned before, we are discussing the New England Patriots. We are reviewing their 2024 season, checking out their free agency and NFL draft, and predicting the full schedule into 2025 and potentially, Metro, even the playoffs. But before we do all that mess, Metro, sir, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Today we are talking all things New England Patriots. We'll talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and what you should expect in 2025. With that said, you want to hop into some statistics?
I would love to. Let's keep it at the base to begin this. The Patriots in the AFC East were 4-13 last year in 2024. On offense, they ranked 30th out of the entire league with 289 points on the season and a rookie quarterback in Drake May. And then on defense, they ranked 22nd, a little bit better, more near league average with 411 points scored against them. So overall, a lot to be worked on, but some promise on the defensive side of the ball while you were also tailoring a young quarterback. Metro, any more advanced stats on your end, sir?
Yeah, so I have a whole bunch of numbers here that I'm going to throw at you guys, and we'll kind of decipher what they all mean. They scored 17 points per game, which is the 30th worst in the NFL. They were 31st in yards per game with 292, 29th in touchdowns per game. They were 30th in red zone scoring percentage, 29th on third down. The only number in the top half, at least in this little subcategory, was on fourth down conversion rate. They were about league average rushing the football in basically every single statistic, and in the passing game, not particularly great. 16th in completion percentage, 25th in passes per game, 32nd in pass yards per game, 26th in a quarterback sack rate, and 16th in interception thrown rate. Defensively, they were 21st in opponents' points per game, 21st in opponents' yards per game, and 21st in opponents' touchdowns per game. They were not necessarily great in the red zone. They were not necessarily good on third down either. A little bit below average against the run, but they were slightly above average against the pass. That said, 4.99 sack percentage, which was dead last in the NFL. So clearly not the greatest numbers, but I think it's also important to mention that that team last year was very different from the team we have this year. A lot of new pieces are on this team, new head coach, a ton of new weapons, new pieces on the offensive line, new pieces defensively. So everything that happened last year, I think, is about as bad as it could have gotten. I think this year, as we look forward to the future, it's going to look a lot better.
Very nice breakdown, Mr. Metro. And you said a lot of new pieces here. You ready to go into free agency where they made a lot of moves?
Yeah, I think before we do that, though, we should talk about the context of these numbers. This team, I want to say, did they have the most cap space in free agency or second most? I think it was the most.
Top 3 without a doubt. I'm pretty sure it was 1.
Yeah, they had a ton of money to spend, and we did a video. I think our last team preview was on the Commanders, and the Commanders also had a lot of money. And we, at least from what I remember, I was not a huge fan of some of the moves they made. I thought they made some questionable decisions in how they spent their money. I look at what the Patriots did, and I don't have those same concerns. It's a lot better on this side, so let's get through these numbers.
Hide the money, all. There's poor people around. The New England Patriots came and they did not play this year, and they spent some cash. Let's go down this list of acquisitions, re-signs, trades, and releases. Let's start at the top. At D-line, we have Milton Williams on a 4-year, $104 million deal. Wide receiver Stephon Diggs, a 3-year, $69 million deal to help your quarterback in Drake May. Cornerback Carlton Davis III from the Lions, a 3-year, $60 million contract. Edge Harold Landry III, 3 years, $43 million. Guys, this is a lot of money being thrown around, and we are not done yet. This shit keeps going. Linebacker Robert Spillane, 3 years, $37 million. Tackle Morgan Moses, 3 years, $24 million. Center Garrett Bradbury, 2 years, $12 million. Matt Collins, wide receiver, 2-year, $8.4, and it goes on and on from here. I could go on for another hour, but those are the big key signings. And for reference, on another team like the Saints right here below, they signed one $30 million contract, and the rest was below 10. So that kind of signing in a free agency period just shows the kind of cap they had in 2025. They also re-signed their linebacker Christian Ellis to a 2-year, $13 million deal, and tight end Austin Hooper to a 1-year, $5 million deal. They traded for defensive interior Devon Chatto. Is that correct, sir?
They traded him out. They traded him away. Devon Godchaux.
Good comps. They traded him away and acquired Milton Williams, so that was kind of a swap right there. They didn't trade for Milton, but they did acquire him. And then they released David Andrews, the center, and linebacker Joanne Bentley. Apologies, the linebacker. Metro, what was your favorite signing of this period, and what would you grade this free agency?
My favorite signing was Robert Spillane, and I would grade this a B+. Now, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of these deals, but they did get a lot better. So my number one complaint is the Milton Williams contract. 4 years, $104 million is a lot of money to give to somebody who has never truly ever been a full starter. Last year was his best year of his career, and he was really good last year, but he was still kind of playing next to Carter and Jordan Davis and all those other guys, so I think he had a lot of help. I'm just cautious with handing out big money, especially a 4-year, $104 million. I think he's now, I want to say, the second highest paid interior defensive lineman, which I think is just a lot of money to hand out to a guy who's never really been a full-time starter. So I wasn't a huge fan of that, but clearly those guys trust the film they watched, and I'm going to trust them here. The Stephon Diggs deal, 3 years, $69 million. Look, Stephon is no longer his Buffalo Bills self, but he can still get the job done. He had a good year in those. He had a good year last year, despite it only being a handful of games. And I think this year he's probably going to be your number one. I think you feel pretty good about it. Carlton Davis, Cade can attest to this. He's a Lions fan, so he knows all about him. I like this pickup a lot. I think he's extremely solid. He'll play opposite of Christian Gonzalez, and that'll be great. Harold Landry, not a big fan of this deal. He's just not a really productive pass rusher at this stage of his career. But, for a team that was dead last against the, getting to the quarterback, anything helps. Morgan Moses, 3-year deal. He's 34. Not a huge fan of this one, but he gets the job done. Hopefully he can stay healthy. And then, I talk about Robert Spillane, man. That dude is, he's a little weird, all right? He's a little weird. A little weird. He just, every linebacker is a little weird, okay? Let's just be honest. They all have something. Yeah, they are, they're not off drugs, but, they might pass as being off drugs. These dudes are crazy, and Robert Spillane is kind of the epitome of that. This guy is going to be a tackling monster. He's not great in coverage, but he's excellent coming downhill and making a ton of plays against the running back. So this team defensively made a lot of nice additions. I also want to shout out K'Lavon Chaisson. He had a really nice year last year for the Raiders, and 6 sacks last year, and I think he can also help out this pass rush a little bit here and there. I think overall they did a nice job of adding quality talent. I don't think that this free agency was the overhaul of the century where they just completely went from a bad team last year to an excellent team. But this was definitely a nice step in the right direction. They still have some more money to spend, so I like what they did. Also, the Christian Ellis deal was also a nice move as well.
Great breakdown, Metro. Over $300 million removed in one offseason. And obviously it's spread over many years, but that's crazy to see it all happen. Dude, agents, when they got a call from the Patriots, were like, hey, what's good, dude? Man? Hey, how you doing? It's good to see you, Bob. It's been so long. Like, they were shooting the shit as much as they could.
They were probably having a field day. They're like, New England's calling us. Can we get $2 extra million? And they probably said yes.
You got it.
Yeah, dude, they probably were. I'm sure some of these agents, like Milton Williams, probably asked for like 150, and they probably asked for 150, knowing they really wanted like 105, and that's what they end up getting. So yeah, these agents were probably having a field day out there. And New England, they had so much money to spend and just so many available roster spots that it was like, sure, you want an extra $1 million? Sure, why not? Just come sign with us. Let's not forget, Milton Williams was going to sign with the Carolina Panthers until they got outbid by New England. So keep that in the back of your mind.
Scared money don't make the money. And the Patriots made some big signings. Thank you for covering the free agency, Metro. The only person I wanted to call out, you mentioned Carlton Davis. Obviously, I have a little bit of fandom because he was a Lion. This guy was fantastic on our team. I really liked that kind of edge support I'm saying on the edge of the sideline he brought to our team. Him and Gonzalez is going to be disgusting and makes the secondary a strength without a doubt. And that is a good place to start for a defense. Any other call-outs here, Metro, before we go to the NFL draft?
I do want to get your opinion on the Milton Williams deal. It's a lot of money. I think what is that? Quick math, $26 million a year. I think that would be, which is a lot. And I do want to give Milton his flowers. He had a 90.4 pass rush grade last year with 6 sacks via PFF, of course. But he only played 500 snaps, and he's really not good against the run. And in past years, well, let me rephrase that. He was not good against the run last year. He has had good past years where he's looked a lot better against the run. For whatever reason, last year was definitely not his best year. 2023, 1 sack, only played 494 snaps. 2022, 4 sacks, only played less than 400 snaps. 2021, 2 sacks, 450 snaps. So never above 500 besides this year. Do you think it was an overpay? And if so, do you think it was justified? Do you feel okay about it?
My answer is it's not overpay. And I think not all deals are created equally. And by that I mean you have a quarterback on a rookie contract.
Parse. Not all deals are created equally. Man, you are killing it with these sayings today.
Hey, the sayings are rolling in all of a sudden. I've been struggling all summer. But back to real quick, you have a quarterback on a rookie contract. That saves you a shit ton of money. You are going into a new regime where you're not going to sign a lot of the old guys. If they were working out, shit wasn't working out clearly. So you don't have a lot of guys you get to sign here in a year or two. Like some of these teams, like the Lions, I just have experience in that area. The Lions, who have a ton of players, you're like, we got to pay this guy. We drafted him 3 years ago. He's a superstar. We cannot let him walk. That's not the scenario here. By the time most of these contracts are up, the money refreshes and we're on to new big deals, and we can pay those guys that we draft with our new regime in 3 or 4 years. So that's how I see it. It's kind of playing with house money. So when I saw the Milt Williams deal, I went, holy shit, $104 million? There's no way in hell. I thought the same thing as you. When I kind of put a second perspective on it, you're playing with house money. Why not? It's better to have the guy than to not have the guy when you need to win games, build confidence in this franchise. That's kind of how I see it.
To your point here, I'm looking at their depth chart. They only have maybe 3 guys that are going to get decent-sized contracts during the next 4 years.
Exactly.
Christian Gonzalez is probably next up, right? He'll probably get his either this year or next year. And I think Ramondre Stevenson needs a deal, but I don't think you really have to re-sign him, to be honest with you. Drake May will obviously get a contract extension, at least you're, of course, hoping so. But by the time he's going to be asking for an extension, we're going to be on the 4th year of Milton Williams. That deal might be a whole lot less if you front-loaded it. So when you put it in like that, yeah, it definitely does make a little bit more sense because they don't really have any massive deals they got to start to concern themselves with. Like, I'm a Cowboys fan, so we had to worry about Micah, Dak, and CD. This Patriots team, I mean, you're really only worried about Drake May and Christian Gonzalez, really. So, yeah.
Yeah, love to see it. Overall, awesome. I thought it was an A-. Yeah, we overpaid guys, but we can because we have the privilege to. So I'm all about it. Anything else? A great breakdown right here. They killed it.
Yeah. They did a solid job. I give it a B+. What grade did you give him?
I'm going to go A-.
Fair. You want to talk about the draft?
Yeah, dude. Let's talk the NFL draft. I'm obsessed with the draft. Let's do this shit. NFL draft for the Patriots. This was my favorite draft of the entire league. So let's get into it. Round 1, we'll go through every pick, and then we'll go through each of them individually. Round 1, Will Campbell, the LSU tackle. Second round, Travion Henderson, the Ohio State running back. We got 2 third-round picks. First one, we got Kyle Williams, the Washington State wide receiver. Another third-round pick, we got Jared Wilson, a Georgia center. 2 fourth-round picks, we got Craig Woodson with the first one from California, a safety. Another fourth, we have Joshua Farmer, Florida State D tackle. 5th round, come on now, Braden Swinson, LSU edge rusher, who, Metro, I know he likes him a lot too, and I like Braden Swinson too. 6th round, we have Andreas Borregales, got there. Yep, Miami place kicker, the absolute machine himself. And we got 3 7th-round picks. They're just free at this point. Marcus Bryant, Missouri tackle. Julian Ashby, Vanderbilt long snapper. Love to see it. Kobe Minor, Memphis quarterback. Let's start at the top, Metro. Will Campbell, the electric speech he gave on stage. That's my quarterback. Nobody's touching him. I'm going to die protecting this guy. How do you not just have an insane dopamine hit as a Pats fan and be like, we're set. This new regime is going to work out. And I don't care if he has T-Rex arms. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to run through a wall for this guy, Metro. What were your thoughts on Will Campbell?
Yeah, I thought it was the right pick here for New England. There was a lot of speculation on some flashier picks, but at the end of the day, they had a serious need on the offensive line, and I think they made the right decision. The nice thing about Campbell is he can play left tackle, he can play guard. I even think he can play center. There's some fundamental things he's going to have to work on, and I think he is. I wouldn't be shocked if he has a couple, struggles here and there in his rookie season. I don't think it's going to be a flawless year, but I think his upside is there. I think when he gets his hands on you, he's very strong. I think he's technically sound. But again, he does have smaller arms, and when you're talking about going up against the Myles Garretts of the world, it's going to be quite frustrating. But again, he could play multiple positions. I love his versatility, and he was a top 5 pick for a reason. I think this pick will work out nicely for them. Is he going to be a Pro Bowl, All-Pro guy for the next 15 years? Maybe here and there, but I don't think it's going to be I think he'll be a quality pickup, basically.
Hell yeah, man. The pick was fantastic in my eyes. Yeah, he's got shorter arms. It does matter, okay? I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't. It does matter, and on some Sundays, it is going to show up, and you're going to have some question marks. But then every other Sunday, the locker room presence, the leader, the camaraderie, this guy is going to hold this trench together, this group, and build it for years to come in the O-line room. I loved it. Big fan. You want to go to the second-round pick in Travion Henderson? I'll let you kick this one off.
Yeah, last thought on Will Campbell. Just be patient with him. Give him time to develop. Travion Henderson, look, you guys saw it in the preseason game. I think he played like a total of 3 snaps and, takes the kickoff for a touchdown. This dude is explosive as hell. You can use him in the kick return game. I think he's an awesome receiving back as well. He's a willing blocker, so you can have him be a 3-down guy. Ramondre Stevenson will have a role this year, but I think once Ramondre's contract is up and he leaves the team and goes somewhere else, Travion Henderson steps right in there. Let me double-check here real quick. Has Ramondre got paid yet?
I don't believe
so.
No,
he did. Stevenson signed a 4-year, $36 million deal. So I actually kind of like that duo. It seems like a little bit like quite a bit of a major deal there for him. But,
Big deal.
I guess they signed this guy, I want to say last year. So, yeah, the deal might end up working out. But you get Ramondre playing next to Travion Henderson, and that should make for a really fun duo for the future. Look, Travion Henderson, to me, is just like he's a do-it-all guy, and you keep his legs fresh. He dealt with some injuries in Ohio State, but, man, he has the juice, and he'll bring it to this team that actually really could use that extra bit of burst off the running back room.
That last thing you said is everything, Metro. The word of the day is juice, and this Patriots team did not have it last year on offense. By juice, we mean this guy's going to make plays with his legs and by himself. God willing, he's going to get into the end zone. You just got to have those guys, and they are far and few in between and hard to find. And Travion Henderson is now on this team in the backfield rotation, and he's going to help this offense out a lot and be a big part of Drake May's development. Anything else on Mr. Henderson?
No. This next pick, though, Kyle Williams, I was a pretty big fan of, so I'll let you kick it off here.
Yeah, 3rd round, Kyle Williams, the Washington State wide receiver. He's 5'11", 190. He ran a 4.4 in the combine, so he's got some word of the day juice. He's got some juice to him as well. This guy can fly as well. Honest to God, Metro, this was a guy that you were bigger on than I was, and I watched so many tapes in the draft process. I never watched Kyle Williams, and it bugs me because I wish I knew more about him. So I'm just going to let you take the ropes here and keep it true and honest.
Yeah, he's a speedster that could win downfield. He's not massive. He's not 6'4". He's not A.J. Brown or DK Metcalf, but he's a well-sized guy. He's a little bit undersized, but he gets the task done. Can win downfield, speedster, give him some screens, he'll take it the distance, put him on some drags, he'll take it far, can win downfield. I think he's in a perfect situation here because he gets to learn from Stephon Diggs, and he doesn't have to come in and instantly contribute. He can, wait his turn, if you want to say. There's kind of a stack up here of receivers in New England with Stephon, Demario Douglas, Kyle Williams, Kayshon Boutte, Mac Hollins, and then some of the guys, like Kendrick Bourne and Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. There's just a lot of guys here in this receiving room, but Kyle Williams to me is one of those guys that could be your future wide receiver too. And I was a pretty big fan of this pickup, and I think he could be the difference maker this offense needs.
I got nothing else to say. You killed it, Metro. Kyle Williams, what would you grade this pick alone, Metro? Was this your favorite pick of the way? I haven't asked your favorite pick. Actually, you know what? Don't listen to me. I'll do that at the end. We're getting ahead of ourselves. But would you give this an A, B?
Yeah, it's a B+. I think it was a good pickup. There was some other guys on the board that I think might have been a better fit here, especially after the Diggs pickup. But long term, this move is going to be really nice.
Let's go. Next pick in the 3rd round, we have Jared Wilson, the Georgia center. And I'll be honest, Jared, I was all over in the draft process. He's 6'3", 310. He ran a 4.84 40 at 310 pounds. Fellas, that's a Ford Raptor. I don't know if you've been in a truck like that before. They move, and they move quickly, and it is terrifying to see that kind of machinery get that quickly up to speed. This guy's an athlete. He has limited experience, but I like what I saw in the run game and the pass game. Pretty much, it's an athlete with limited experience, and I think it's going to work out really well. I like Jared Wilson's game. He's physical as shit, and he can get around guys quicker than others, and I think it's going to translate really nicely in the league on a young O-line.
Yeah, he is a developing center that did not get a lot of playing time in Georgia. He played a lot last year, but that was really his only year of significant playing time. He's an athletic guy, can move quite nicely. I think in his own concept, he'll be really, really good. Just give him some time to learn some nuance with the position, and he'll be a really solid starter for this team for the foreseeable future. Craig Woodson, the next pick here in the 4th round, and we'll kind of just briefly cover some of these other guys because I don't know about you. I don't know anything about long snapper Julian Ashby. All right. So shout out to him, but I don't know anything about him. Keep it a buck. Craig Woodson is somebody that I actually kind of tapped into a little bit later after the draft because prior to the draft, I didn't really hear much about him. And then he gets drafted in the 4th round, so I got to take my eyes and kind of just look at him a little bit. I think for the New England Patriots, he'll probably play on the nickel, but they also could use a little bit of help at the strong safety position, so it could definitely be a move he makes there. Ran at the combine, ran a 4.45, clocked in at about 6 foot, 200 pounds. I think he's a decent enough athlete. I think he processes the field well enough. I think he can be sticky in coverage, but by the end of it, I would have probably drafted him a bit more in the 5th or 6th round. He goes in the 4th round, though, to develop into that nickel spot. Maybe he could be your long-term play at safety. We'll see. I think he might just be one of those guys you just kind of draft, and, we'll see what he can get or what we can get out of him in a few years.
4th round, we have Joshua Farmer, the Florida State D tackle. Pretty quick, 6'3", 305. He's really stout in the run game, also solid in the pass game. For example, in his statistics, he had 14 tackles for loss and 8 sacks over 2 seasons. What he's going to be, actually, it can be whatever he wants to be. Don't listen to me, Joshua, but what if I had to guess and project, he's going to be the guy you're thankful he's in your D-line rotation because he's going to be a fresh body, ready to go, and he can make a good role player play in your defense. Do you have anything to say about Mr. Farmer?
No, he's a big dude, can stuff the run nicely. I think he could play in both a 3-4 and a 4-3. In a 3-4, he's probably being a bit more of an edge. In a 4-3, one of those interior guys for this Patriots team specifically. They do like to run a bit more of a 3-4, so he'll probably be playing kind of what Christian Barmore was doing in a lot of ways. He can get to the quarterback here and there. I think he'll be a bit better as like a run stuffer, but he's strong, he's powerful, doesn't have a great first step, but he'll be strong at the point of attack, and so he'll be a fun little pickup here. 4th round was excellent value. I know some people had him as a 3rd round potential day 2 pick. He falls into the middle of the 4th round, and that was pretty solid value.
Speaking of value, let's go to the 5th round. 8th pick in the 5th round, Braden Swinson, LSU edge rusher. He's 6'4", 255, strong as shit. His game is power, elite hand movement, gets off blocks, and he's also got some quickness off the edge. Braden Swinson was a guy that was put on my radar personally by my friend at Hail Mary Sports, Alex. He had him in like a top 10 prospect list, and I'm like, who the hell is Braden Swinson over Travis Hunter on your big board, buddy? You clearly don't know anything. I turn on the tape, and I'm like, shit, he might be on to something here. Braden Swinson's pretty nice, and the fact that he fell to the 5th, must have had some question marks, clearly that we don't know about that the scouts did, but nonetheless, I thought was insane value to get on your defensive line, and I'm a huge, huge fan of this pick. Also, real quick to shout out Bootleg Podcast and NFL SC. I know they did like a mock draft together. They ended up taking him in the 1st round in a couple mock drafts. A lot of the community liked this guy. Metro, what did you like or dislike about Braden Swinson?
Yeah, I was also pretty high on him. I had him as a late 1st, early day 2 pick, and frankly, if you took him in the top 15, I honestly would not have been that upset with you. There were some off-the-field concerns that pushed him back in some scouts' eyes, and there is some flaws to his game. I like to use the word disruptor for this guy. I think as an edge rusher, he is consistently in the backfield, but he doesn't have the quantity of tape that some of these other guys had. Sort of a late bloomer, but he's a well-sized guy with long arms, big hands, and he's strong as an ox. I mean, this guy is cut up really well. He doesn't really have a plan right now. I think when he gets out there, it's just all sort of, he's free flowing out there. And sometimes that's great. Sometimes it can kind of hurt him. So I think if he can learn to understand, that he needs a bit of a pass rush plan, I think he'll be a little bit better. But I think right now he has like 1 or 2 moves, but I think he needs a few more moves to his skill set. And he gets a little bit of some time to develop here in New England. And I wouldn't be shocked 2 to 3 years down the road if he's one of their starters as an outside linebacker or a really solid quality depth piece for this team moving forward. For the Patriots specifically, a team that badly needed help off the edge, to get this guy in the 5th round was excellent value because, the people that Cade just talked about, NFLSC, Bootleg, Hail Mary Sports, like all those guys, they're not lying to you. They're watching tape. And I'm sure if the off-the-field stuff was fine, it would have been cleaned up for him. But he gets to learn from Calavion, from Harold Landry, and Keon White. So there's some talent here. But Brandon Swinson will have a role in this team moving forward.
For these final 4 picks in the 6th and 7th round, we have Andreas, the Miami place kicker, Marcus Bryant, the Missouri O-tackle, Julian Ashby, the Vanderbilt long snapper, Kobe Minor, the Memphis cornerback. These guys are going to be training camp warriors. They're going to fight their way onto the roster, and I hope they make an impact in their respective fields. I don't know shit about them, unless you do. I haven't seen their tape, but I've heard a little bit about Kobe. That's pretty much it.
I haven't heard anything about most of these guys. I've heard a little bit about Kobe as well, but nothing significant. I want to give a shout-out to a long snapper for getting drafted.
Let's go, man. Let's go,
I don't know
Ashby.
if that's ever happened in the history of the NFL, but getting drafted, I don't care if it's a 7th round. A long snapper is wild, all right? I love it, and I'm happy for the guy, but I am a little bit like, really? You took a long snapper in the draft? You couldn't have done that as a free agent or something? But hey, go ahead and get this guy on your team. I guess it might work out for them.
The value hits they got on so many of these players. I think Henderson was a value hit. I think Wilson was a value hit. I think Farmer was. I think Braden Swinson was. Let's just not burn. That's rude. But let's take guys we know we want and not even allow the market to see them. Let's take Julian Ashby in the 7th round, 35th pick in that round. For his pre-draft analysis, I find this pretty fun. He was at Furman for 4 seasons and then transferred to Vanderbilt for just 1 season. Talk about an absolute long shot. Long shot, get it? Long shot at making an NFL roster. But he did it. On his description, what else are you going to say? He goes, he's accurate and gets good zip on his snaps. Like, no shit.
There we go. That's what you want to hear.
It's exactly what you want to hear when you draft a long snapper.
I would love to know if there are special team scouts that actually watch this and like time the snap to when it gets caught by the punter or caught by the placeholder. That would have to be one of the most boring jobs ever, dude.
Have to, bro. They have to. I promise you.
Like, I would wonder if it's like, hey, can we get AI to do this? can we get a robot to see how fast this guy can snap the football? Because I would not want to do that. No disrespect to my long snappers out there, but I don't want to watch your film, bro. I'm good.
Never. No, they got to have a clock out there. Ooh, random thought. You said AI in football. You think scouts someday start to use catapult devices to measure? Because I know teams do that to measure how far players run so you can adjust their workload during practice for the game week. They also measure how fast your top time of the day, your miles per hour. You think scouts someday will get access to that information? Maybe they already have it and we just don't know.
Maybe they would. I feel like a lot of teams would kind of BS it so their guy gets drafted a little higher. Like, oh, yeah, we've only put 5,000 steps on this guy. It's like, all right, buddy, 5,000 for Ashton Genty. Are we serious?
He has that many carries.
I know, yeah, but I'm sure that it's probably used in some ways. Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting conversation to be had.
Yeah, we'll yap about that someday. I will ask you now, what was your favorite pick of this draft in considering value, and what would you grade it?
Considering value, of course, I'll go Braden Swinson. I just think he was a guy that could have been drafted a lot higher. Fell to the 5th round due to off-the-field concerns. But, yeah, he's a good player. And in terms of the draft, I mean, I think this is one of the best drafts out there. I can't remember what I graded at the time, but I'm sure it was really positive. I'll give it an A. I think there's really nothing more I can say. Craig Woodson would have been a little bit of a high pick, but they make up for it with Farmer and Swinson. 6th round kicker, okay, long snapper, whatever. I'm not too mad about it. They did such a good job. Yeah, I'll give it an A.
Let's go. Love to hear it. For me, I'll go Jared Wilson since you went Braden Swinson. There's certain guys that you're just going to die by the sword. I'm going to die by the sword on Jared Wilson. I think he's going to be a really good NFL center, and I thought it was tremendous value. And then for the rating, I give it an A+. I think you got guys that you should have – most teams would have taken in the second and third round, and you got them in the third and the fourth and the fifth. And you're winning in the trenches. That's where you're building it. And it's also elevating your quarterback, most importantly, in Drake May. And it's going to build to this identity that Vrabel wants in this room. Metro, it is time for the non-football question of the day. Are you ready, sir?
100%. Let's hear it.
Non-football question of the day is, if you could go back, this one's kind of deep, you go back and tell your younger self, let's go tell your 15-year-old self something, what would it be?
If I can go back and tell my 15-year-old self, it's a good question. Probably, hey, in 3 years, start a YouTube channel. You'll be so much farther ahead than everyone else.
When did you start?
I started MetroSports. Well, it's kind of funny. So I have a clips channel. That was my original MetroSports channel. But then I started posting. Now, this is advice for any YouTubers out there that are watching. Well, if you're starting up. If you're a bigger one, this probably doesn't apply to you. But if you upload shorts with videos, it can actually kind of hurt your long-form content. And so I uploaded some shorts, and the shorts really took off. And then I started continuing the uploading of the long-form content, and it just flattened out. Like I was getting 15 views type of thing. I was like, wow, this is not what I was looking for. So then I had to reset. So that was about 2.5-ish years ago. So I started about 2.5 years ago. And then MetroSports I started about 2 years ago. But if I would have had that extra 3 years of building, if we had started 3 years ago, we'd probably have a lot more. But you know what? We're grateful with where we're at right now. We're in a great spot. And yeah, that would have been my advice. If you're looking for other advice, probably would say,
don't make me cry.
Probably would say, save your money.
Hear that, young folks?
Yeah, don't blow it on a car.
That's a really big one.
Yeah, I didn't blow my. I put a big deposit down on a car, and I don't regret the car I picked 'cause I love my car, but I got all the fancy bells and whistles on it, and I'm like, that cost me an extra $10K, and I'm like, I shouldn't have done that, because my car went from probably a $20K to a $30K car, and I was like, bro, I don't really need the leather seats, the retractable roof, all this extra stuff. So yeah, if you're gonna buy a car, just get the basic model. It'll get you through. Don't buy the fancy third edition with all this crazy stuff. And that was crazy too. I got rims on my car. I got nitrogen in my tires. And
Dude,
I'm happy with it now. Yeah, I went all out. But I'm fine now. My car is actually paid off now. So we're good.
Oh, that is the best place to be in life.
I know. I got it finally paid off. And even though when I was paying it off, my bill wasn't that much. It was actually a pretty cheap one, but I was just like, all right, bro, I got the money. Let me pay this car off. I'm good now, though.
Bro,
So, yeah, that's my advice.
That's
Start
amazing.
a YouTube channel, and don't buy a car with the bells and whistles.
Those are two really good ones. Going back to your YouTube channel comment, I was curious. I was like, I'm going to go back to 2020. I'm going to go back to 2019 and check out what sports videos were like. The production value, and maybe I'm just caring more now because we're in the game. So incremental. It used to be dog shit. If we had this level of production 4 years ago, it would stick out like a sore thumb.
Dude,
but
I
now
know.
this is what's expected. So
I know.
which is fine. I'm having a blast. But I think it's really unique how fast it's turned.
Yeah, sometimes I'll not recently, but when I first started, because when you're starting a channel, you want to kind of compare it to and see what other people are doing and how you could take certain things from there. And so I would look at their videos and I'm like, oh, okay, these guys are really making good videos. And I would go back 2-3 years ago, and it's just a guy. Hey guys, today it's just bro, how is this guy now at 1 million subscribers? But shout out to them, man. They're making good content, and hopefully
They inspired us.
Yeah, they inspired us, and hopefully we'll inspire people in the future.
That's really good. For my advice to my 15-year-old self, I
That was
wish.
like 20 years ago.
Yeah. Hey. Not 20, but half of that, yeah. My 15-year-old self, I played a lot of Destiny 1. Wouldn't change that for the world, bro. I was a Destiny 1 fiend at
Good
15.
game. That was a good game.
Bro, I think I dumped I think I done like a full tuition amount in one summer on Death. But anyways, Trials of Osiris was electric. Okay, real advice, I would say, and not that I didn't care. I just wish I realized how much of an impact grades have on your future. Like the school you get into and your test score and the college you go to, everybody goes to college now. A degree is not a degree. I don't mean to be like that, but it's not. You need to get into one of the name brand schools to actually stick out on a resume. Everything else is an entry ticket into the other hundreds in the entry for a job. You need to stick out, and that's how to do it easily with a logo with this school. So wish I took that more seriously. I had good grades. I think I had 3.4 GPA, but just not the level of some people. And then that's a big one. And then two, also realize that like the sun still comes up and life still keeps turning. Like even when it feels like, and I'm not even trying to be sad, just like shit happens, stuff goes wrong, whether it's you or somebody else. And everything's going to be okay, man. We're all just like, we're people on this space rock that's floating around a universe, and the sun keeps turning, it's going to be okay, and you got to get up the next morning. So, just put everything in perspective, and then also stay in school, kids. Stay in school. I know like our viewers are actually like pretty much 30 and 40, but
to anyone who isn't. Yeah, I will say on that last thing, usually when something bad happens, something good usually happens right after. Like you can start putting it into perspective, like, was it really that bad of a thing that happened? You're like, no, not really. It didn't kill me. I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. I'm still doing good. Let me just go do something else now, right? So if something bad happens, know that the sun will still shine and that the rainbow will have a good ending, hopefully.
Pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yep,
Metro.
there you go. Bars.
Thank you. Would you say pause?
I said bars.
I was like, what's a pause about that?
No pause.
Hey, thank you for entertaining me. That was our non-football question of the day. Let's go back. We just covered the draft. Anything else you have on the draft? I think we're pretty much wrapped up there. Now we can talk about the depth chart.
Yeah, let's talk about the offense.
Offense of the New England Patriots. Quarterback, we have Tom Brady. Just kidding. We have Drake May, the young sensation. I was on purpose, by the way. I'm not a dumbass. Let's go to the running back. We have Ramondre Stevenson on a big old contract and Travion Henderson. They also have Antonio Gibson in there. Kind of just kind of put that together. Wow. Wide receiver, we have Stephon Diggs, Demario Douglas, and that third round pick, Kyle Williams. Tight end, we got Hunter Henry. Fullback, fire me up. He is on IR, but we have Brock Lampy. I believe I said that correct, I hope. And then left tackle, we have Will Campbell, the first-round pick. Left guard, who other than Cole Strange, the first-round pick. Center, Garrett Bradbury. Right guard, Mike Onwenu. And then right tackle, Morgan Moses to finish out this O-line. Metro, when you look at this offense, what is the strength, what is the weakness, and then what is the pivoting factor of it?
Strength would probably be youth in the weapons and quarterback. Yeah, some potential in the quarterback room. My concern is still on the offensive line. I worry about the interior. And I worry about you're trusting a rookie at Will Campbell at left tackle. I've heard he struggled a little bit. Morgan Moses has dealt with some injuries in the past. I don't think they have elite depth there. But I think it's a better unit from what you had last year. Now, in terms of going back to that strength, you have Travion Henderson, you have Kyle Williams. I love some of these other backups. I've heard really good things about Efton Chisholm as well, your backup receiver. I've heard some really good things about him. And Stephon Diggs he's not young, but he's the veteran that can kind of keep the group together. So, this is going to be an offense that will be better from last year. I mean, last year they were 30th in points per game, 31st in yards per game, and 29th in touchdowns per game. I'm not expecting a night and day difference. Like, I'm not saying this is going to be a top 10 offense, but if May could take the big step forward, if the coaching staff does their job, and if the offensive line could just be average, this will be an offense that gets into the top 20, which will be a big jump forward from where you were last year. And, look, Drake May, not a ton of pressure on him this year, but just to continue to improve and continue to develop and become a bit more of a leader. And I think the pieces are starting to fill out around him.
Well said, brother. You ready to go to the defense? You covered pretty much all of it.
Yeah. Ramondre Stevenson, I think, will be RB1, but I think he'll be a bit more of the running number one option, and then Trayvon Henderson can be a bit more in the passing game, blocking, et cetera, et cetera. So keep an eye out on the distribution of plays between those two guys. I think one thing we have to take an eye on in the next couple weeks as we narrow down to the 53-man roster, who do they cut in this receiving room? Because Diggs is guaranteed a role. Williams is guaranteed a role. You got to think Mac Hollins is there. Kayshon Boutte, I think, would be. Demario Douglas, I'm sure, would be there too. So either Kendrick Bourne, Javon Baker, Jalen Polk, I feel like there's a chance that 2 or 3 of those guys are potentially out the door. And that's 3 talented receivers. I mean, Jalen Polk, I think he was a second-round pick the year prior. But
literally last year, 2024.
He was so bad last year from what I heard. And that's concerning. I mean, he had, gosh, this is crazy, 33 targets and only had 12 receptions. That's not a good number.
That's rough. And he was a contested catch guy in college.
Yeah, he could do a bit of everything. I mean, he was the 37th overall pick, albeit I thought he was way overdrafted. But, yeah, that's not a good look for this team that he might be cut in year 2 already, which is wild. So, yeah, I mean, there's lots to like here about this offense. But, again, my thing would be this. Don't overestimate how good your offense will be. It'll be good, but it won't be great.
Well said, man. Well said. They're not going to win the game, but they're not going to keep you out of it either. Let's go to the defense. They're on a 3-4 base and go down the defensive line. At D end, we have Christian Barmore. Nose tackle, we have Tonga right there in the middle. D end, we have Milton Williams, who we just signed to a 4-year deal. Linebacker, Keon White. Linebacker again, Robert Spillane, who we also just signed. Christian Ellis, linebacker Harold Landry, the third, who we also signed to a deal. Everybody's new signed. Oh, my goodness. Everybody got paid this year. Cornerback Carlton Davis, the third. Same theme there. Strong safety Kyle Duggar. Free safety Jabril Peppers. Cornerback Christian Gonzalez. You love to see it. And then nickelback Marcus Jones. This team's looking, you talk about almost like a transfer portal, NIL kind of plug-and-play defense. Everybody got paid. Everybody's feeling confident. Everybody's rolling up in their new cars to practice. This squad should have some juice, and if they don't, we're going to have some serious questions real fast. I think it'll take an upgrade, definitely from last year, which it was pretty damn rough. It was like 20 seconds, so not horrible, but room to be improved, and I think it will with the amount of money you spent. But Metro, what say you?
Yeah, I thought the defense last year was better than what it said statistically. I think a lot of the reason for why it was so bad was how bad the offense was and how often they were put in tough situations. But the defense still had some holes, and they doubled down by adding a Carlton Davis, a Robert Spillane, a Milton Williams, and you have a Keon White who's developing off the edge. You bring in some vets like Harold Landry, Kalavion Chason, Braden Swinson's now in the mix. So I think they have a couple options off the edge. I still think maybe a proven guy who can get you 10 sacks would be ideal, but obviously that's easier said than done. Secondary's good. Hopefully Christian Gonzalez can continue to stay healthy, and I think they have guys that can get to the quarterback. I think they have dudes who can stuff the run, like their linebackers. I like their secondary. There's some depth here now. So yeah, this is a really good defense. I would not be surprised if by season end this is a close to, if not potentially a top 10 defense.
Metro, I'm going to force you to rank this offensive and defensive unit. Start with the offense. Last year, they ranked 30th in the NFL in scoring. Where do they rank in 2025? And then do the same thing for defense, who was 22 last year.
Offense 22, defense 11.
Okay, offense 22, and then defense 11. 11?
Got a good defense.
I respect that.
They were a good defense last year, at least on paper, but they had things not go their way. I think this defense could take a big step forward. And you got to remember, who's the head coach?
Vrabel.
Oh, Vrabel, yeah. Vrabel's there, and I trust Vrabel. I think Vrabel's a great coach. So, yeah, I think this defense could get to number 11.
Facts. And I didn't mean to say that as it sounded contradictory. I was just computing it, and when it popped in my brain, I had to go, oh, wow, that's 11 spots forward. And I completely understand where you were coming from. So you went 22 and 11, 22 for the offense, 11 for the defense, and that should make you mighty competitive.
Yep.
I will go I'll go 20 on offense, and I'll go 16 on defense. And
Yep. Totally possible.
A whole lot of grit and close wins this year.
Yeah. Do you want to hop over to their schedule?
The best part, without a doubt, of our videos. Guys, it is time. We're going through the entire New England Patriots 2025 season, game by game, breaking down each scenario. And if we make the playoffs, we will make a playoff run. Metro, you ready to do this shit, man? I'm going to spit these games at you, and you're going to give me a win or a loss.
100%. Let's get it.
Here we go. Regular season week 1. It is Sunday, September 7th, and it's going to be a glorious day, ladies and gentlemen. We are at home in the Las Vegas Raiders, and their young, explosive superstar team is rolling up at noon. Who wins this one, Metro?
Yeah, the Raiders have the upper echelon talent, but I think defensively they are lacking majorly in just pieces. I'm going to give the Patriots the win here. I think the Patriots can pull off a nice little gritty week 1 win as they're trying to build some chemistry and connection.
The 6th-round kicker puts it through the uprights to win the game, belt to ass on the Vegas Raiders. Week 2, we're going on the road this time. Going to be Sunday, September 14th. We're going to Miami to play the Dolphins at noon. If Miami can win any games, it's typically when it's sunny out and at home. What do you think, though, Metro?
Yeah, look, I'm kind of in that philosophy. Miami is one of those teams that can score points in bunches. They have Hill, they have Waddle, they have A-Chain. You're catching Miami, in my opinion, at a wrong time in the wrong situation because you're going up against them while they're still healthy, while the sun is still beaming on them in Miami. Giving the Miami Dolphins for a win here.
Respectable. 1-1 going into week 3. Sunday game again against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we are at home. No terrible towels today. It's noon. Who wins this one, Metro?
I always love seeing Pittsburgh versus New England. Just brings
gritty.
back flashbacks of Pittsburgh with Roethlisberger going up against Tom Brady. Some good old-fashioned slug-it-out games here. I think the Steelers have a good defense, but I worry a lot about that offense. I think the Patriots could give them trouble. This is one of those games to me that I feel like could be a bit of a toss-up, but I'm going to go slightly here to Pittsburgh. I think Drake May could have a big game, but I think Pittsburgh's defense will just get a couple stops to allow Aaron Rodgers to put some points up.
The Unction and the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers take down the Patriots. Week 4, it's Sunday again. It's September 28th, nearing the end of the month. And we are at home again against the Carolina Panthers and Bryce Young. They got Ted McMillan. Is this new offensive firepower enough to take down our team?
Yeah, this is a really interesting game. Two teams that are trying to, put things together this upcoming season. I think Carolina's good, but I really worry about that defense. I think Carolina's defense is really not great at all. But I think at the same time, I do not think the Patriots offense can score a bunch of points. And I think that Carolina could, but I am going to go with the Patriots to win this one. I think the Patriots want to get to 500, and this would be a good way to get there.
2-2, and we're feeling good. We had 3 home games in September, so naturally in October. Now we're going to have 3 road games in a row. Buckle up. This is the stretch of the season we need to lock in. First game, it does not treat us.
Do they? Have you seen their schedule? Look at this.
I was reading this as I was reading, and I was like, it's actually not that bad. Anyways, but the first one sucks. Week 5, we have the Buffalo Bills on Sunday Night Football. We are going to Buffalo Stadium. It's the last year of the stadium because they're building a new one right around the block. That place is going to be rowdy as shit. Who wins this one, Metro?
Is that stadium going to be a dome or no?
I don't think so. I think it's still outside.
I hope it is because I love the snow games in Buffalo.
Give
me Buffalo. They're a better team. They have the offense. They have the defense. I think New England can be competitive with them, but just give me the Buffalo Bills. I'm not going to overthink this one.
Well said. We are 2-3 in Metro. I don't mean to skip ahead because we've never done that before, but as you said, we have this might be the best stretch I've ever seen in my life. Actually, it's the Saints, the Titans, and the Cleveland Browns. Can we just chalk up some W's?
Yeah, for reference, let me see if I'm correct here. We just did, our last video was a power rankings video, and the Browns, Titans, and Saints in that particular order are my bottom 3, and the Browns, Saints, and Titans are Cade's 3 of the bottom 4. So these teams suck, and the Patriots are good. So yes, give me the Patriots to win every single one of these games.
Let's go. We just hopped on what do they call it? The mushrooms, whatever they call it in Mario Kart. That's a free three wins in the middle of the season. This schedule's freaking sweet, man. On our way we go. It's November now. It's week 9, and we are at home And now we have somewhat of a challenge. We actually are playing in the National Football League again. We have the Atlanta Falcons rolling up to New England. It's noon. Who settles this one and wins, Metro? We have we got Penix, who's in the same draft as Drake. Who do you think wins?
Yeah, this is one of those games where there's two things that could happen here. Either A, the Patriots are riding a wave of momentum and it's going to carry over to Atlanta, or they're riding high and mighty. I said that totally opposite way. Maya and Heidi. They're riding high and mighty, and they get to Atlanta and they get smoked. But I think the opposite is going to happen. I think they're going to actually beat the Atlanta Falcons, and I think this could be probably one of their signature wins of the season.
Big time win, and couldn't have come at a better time. We're now 4 wins in a row off that Buffalo loss, but we have a challenge again. It's Week 10, November 9th, and we're going to Tampa Bay to play the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield, if he's feeling dangerous, this could be a really tough one, but what say you, Metro?
Baker's going to be cooking. Baker will be in the kitchen feeling dangerous. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Baker is not making SpaghettiOs. He's making lasagna in Week 10 and winning this game. Week 11, it's Thursday Night Football. We're playing the New York Jets at home. This is a divisional game. I love me some Thursday Night Football. What say you, Metro? Who wins this game?
Yeah, Thursday Night Football, really not the funnest matchup. I think both these teams, they'll be good, but they won't be great. It could have some fun moments, though. Give me the Patriots. Give me the Patriots here. Big signature win after a major loss on Thursday, national TV. Drake May is going out there slinging the rock versus Sauce Gardner. I think he'll get the upper hand.
Let's go. On to Week 12. We're now 7-4. We are trekking down the season with a late-ass bye week. We are almost there, though. Yeah. Week 12. We're going to a team that's kind of the polar opposite of us. We're going to the Bengals in Cincinnati. We will be playing. The Bengals, they have their 3 offensive superpowers, and that is kind of it. And we are all about grit, defense, and running the damn ball. How does the new age fight against the old age team? Who wins this one, Metro, in Cincinnati?
This is like Thanos going up against Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man. The Bengals literally have 3 guys. And they're probably going to win. Give me the Bengals.
Valid. Just valid.
Those 3 guys are so damn good, dude. Those guys are so good. But their defense is trash.
Ooh. Carlton Davis and Gonzalez. Do you think they're able to somewhat contain?
No.
We're not changing the win, but just on that conversation, do you think they're able to somewhat contain T. Higgins and Chase?
Higgins, yes. Chase, no shot. Nobody
Hell
can stop Chase. The only guy that can maybe slow him down is Pat Surtain, but even then, I'm taking my money on Jamar Chase, I'm being honest with you.
Valid. We're now 7-5 on the season. One more game before the bye. It's December. Holy shit, guys. Week 13, we're playing the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. They even had to cut into our bye a little bit by losing a day. Metro, who wins this game on Monday Night Football?
Yeah, brutal bye week here. Look, I think Jackson Dart's probably the starting quarterback by this stage, and Dart's looked pretty good in the preseason. And look, I think the Giants are underrated. I think their defense is damn good, and I think offensively, if they can just score enough points, I think the Giants are going to win this one.
7-6, a respectable loss. We have our backs against the wall going into this bye week. We have been through 13 games, and we're hurting. We have a chance at the playoffs, but we need to win 3. We pretty much need to win out. Am I correct, Metro?
If you want to get to 10, you need to win 3 more. It's possible, but if you really want to make the playoffs, you probably need to win out, but it's not looking pretty likely here.
Here we go. Not to be grim. We're just kind of giving you a preview. Week 15, we have the Buffalo Bills again. Of course, they're in our division, but we're home this time. It's December 14th. It's going to be chilly in New England. Does that change the factor? Does it play to Josh's favor? Does it play to our favor? We'll find out who wins this one.
I think it could be a close competitive game where New England sticks in it, but I think ultimately Buffalo will find a way to win. Buffalo just has a lot more on the line here, and they probably need a victory more than New England does.
Very fair. Week 16, we're moving on. It's December 21st. Sunday, it's going to be noon. We're going on the road to play the Baltimore Ravens. This is a team that will definitely be in playoff contention and battling for their own division. Like you said, we are in their way. We are most likely out of playoff contention right now unless we absolutely win out. The best we can do is 10-7. But how does this one finish, Metro?
Yeah, it's a tough matchup. Baltimore's just a better team. They're one of my favorites to win the Super Bowl this year. And, sure, could they make a mistake? Yes, but I'm not going to predict that. I'm going to give the Ravens the win here.
Very, very fair. We're 7-8 going into Week 17. We're going on the road to play the Jets. It's December 28th. Who wins, the Jets or the Patriots?
I had the Jets lose the last one. I'll give the Jets another loss. Patriots win.
You got me there too, bro. I was like, oh, here we go. We are 8-8 on the season, and it's the new age of the NFL. So we got one more game. It's Week 18. We are at home, and Miami's rolling up. Miami's in hell, bro. This is the last place they want to go on Week 18. It's going to be cold. It's going to be miserable. New England thrives here. Miami's just ready to go to Cabo. Yeah. But of course, if you think Miami's going to win this and change the what do you call it? The perception about them. Yeah. Go ahead, be my guest. What do you think, Metro?
No, Miami is absolute frauds in the cold. They can't do nothing right in the cold. They can't throw it. They can't run it. They can't tackle. I think the Patriots win this one pretty handily.
9-8 on the season. That is going to miss the playoffs, but that's also going to get us a reasonable draft pick. I bet we fall at like 14, 15, something.
They could make the playoffs.
At 9-8?
It's unlikely.
In the AFC, I don't see that happening.
I think didn't the Broncos make it last year at 10-7?
That's not 9-8.
It's possible. Trying to give Patriots fans some hopes.
Sorry, it is possible, Patriots fans. We're talking a flip. Like you beat Miami Week 2 earlier in the season. This is a completely different story. You just sweep Miami, you're good to go. You're going to sweep the Jets. If you don't, that's on you. And you got to win that Tennessee, Cleveland, and New Orleans Saints run back to back to back. You should have a handful of really good playoff teams on the schedule that are going to be kind of unavoidable losses, at least in our eyes. I do say, if I had to pick one game of this season that would be absolutely pivotal for them, I feel like this team is built to win in Week 15, December 14th, at home against Buffalo. I think that could be a pivotal game for the franchise, the attitude in the building. Taking down a juggernaut like that in your own house before the playoffs, I think would be sweet. What about you? Do you have a favorite game?
Yeah, I can tell you right off the bat, this is not a hard schedule in a lot of ways. And if you can handle your business from weeks 1 to 9, where your only loss is to Buffalo, like if you beat Pittsburgh and Miami and Atlanta, then, you're going into week 10 potentially. What would that be, 8-1?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously that's not probably going to happen, but the schedule is really not that difficult. If you could just handle your business there, and honestly, even if you're not 8-1, if you're 7-2 or 6-3, and then you're able to, you have to beat one of Tampa Bay, Cincinnati, Buffalo, or Baltimore, because if you're 6-2, you lose, you beat Tampa Bay, you could end the season 11-6, 12-5. So there's definitely a pathway here, but we're being a little bit optimistic here. And, in reality, you're going to lose a couple games, hence why I have the Giants winning. That's why I have the Dolphins beating you once, the Steelers winning. So, there's a pathway here for the Patriots to win. But I think in all reality, 9-8, 8-9 is pretty realistic for this year. And I think that would be a pretty successful season by most accounts. And this is not a team that's ready to go all in quite yet. Next year, you draft some more linemen, get another receiver, and Drake May continues to develop, and by next year, you're hoping to be a playoff team.
Patriots fans, this is kind of like the perfect place to be in as a fan. This isn't a make-or-break year, like Metro said. Nope. You can just watch and appreciate the improvement, the new head coach, our young quarterback. We are looking for improvements on our teams. When you're at the top, you're trying to get knocked down. It can only get worse. It can only get better for us, and it's going to get better. So this should be pure entertainment for you guys, and I would love to be a New England fan this year. I think it's going to be a really fun 2025. Metro, do you have any closing remarks about the New England Patriots?
No. As I said, look, Patriots fans, a lot to look forward to this year. Don't have the craziest high of expectations. Don't plan for a Super Bowl parade or maybe even a playoff spot, but just understand this is a developing team that's going to make some mistakes. Your quarterback's going to have some turnovers. Will Campbell's going to have some games where Myles Garrett takes him to class, and it's just going to happen. But the good news is you have a veteran head coach, you have some veteran pieces to help your young pieces, And by 2026 or 2027, this team is going to be hopefully pretty darn good.
Patriots fans, you know best. We are two talking heads, but let us know what your thoughts are down below. What do you think y'all will be? Your record I'm speaking to. What record will y'all have in 2025? Drop it in the comments. Tell us what you disagree with, what you agree with. Drop it all down below. If you did enjoy this video, please drop a like. The YouTube algorithm is dumb as hell, but if you like it, it like literally 10x's the value you bring to this video. So thank you very much. We appreciate you. You make this thing grow. We cannot do this without you. Thank you very much. Metro, get us out of here, buddy. We love you guys.
Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.